Morning. I hope you've enjoyed the videos the last couple of days. But I figured I'd answer a couple of comments, questions, and emails from my memory. Now, I got asked the other day in an email or a comment, I can't even remember. Wasn't that funny? Did you see what I did there? Anyway, the comment was, hey, why don't you do things like the other big farming channels so that your channel grows like theirs have? They've exploded into stardom on YouTube. Well, I've been doing YouTube for 12 years. Exactly 12 years now, I think. 2008, so that'd be 12 years. October 2008. I think my first video went up about mid-October of 2008. Farming video that went up was a little later, but yeah. So anyhow, I've been doing it this way for 12 years, and I enjoy the way I do it. It kind of brings comfort. Some people say it's boring. Well, it's not boring. It's my life. YouTube used to be a spot for vloggers, and if you got over 3 minutes of time, let's see, was it 3 minutes? In the beginning, I think it was 3 minutes. No more than 3 minutes, because they couldn't process it. They just didn't have the server space. And so that was 3 minutes, and then it went to like 10 minutes, and now 10 minutes has gone to 15 minutes. And if you're over 15 minutes and you're not a member, you can't, or a member, a Google AdSense a member, yeah. If you don't apply or you're not a member of the Google AdSense, wow, look at all those leaves go flying. Then you really can't go over 15 minutes without, you know, too much trouble. I don't even know what it is, because I've been a member of AdSense, Google AdSense, for years, and it was great. You know, it works pretty good. I get paid okay. Do I make huge amounts of money? No, I don't make huge amounts of money. Do I make enough money that I'm proud of it? Yeah, I am. And as of recently, there's been a renewed sense of energy to the channel, because I realize that I am appreciated by the people that watch this channel. You know, for a while, it was just one negative comment after the other. But as of lately, I have gotten some really nice comments from some very nice folks. One which struck me, you know, hit me in the heartstrings there a little bit more than most. And it says, you know, I haven't watched YouTube in a while, and I came back to YouTube to watch some videos, and you're still here. And it just was like meeting up with an old friend, you know. And that's really why I continue to do things the way that I do them, just because it's my life. It is a blogging spot or a vlogging spot for me, like it was in the beginning. I've gone through rough patches in my life in the last 10 years, 12 years on YouTube. I've raised a family on YouTube since 2008, and now I've started again. If you don't realize that, you know, I was divorced from my first wife back in 2005 was the final divorce. She left in 2004, so I found solace and comfort in YouTube. By producing these videos, I'm able to reach to a group of people that are like me, because in the area that I live in, there's not too many people like me, and people that live in this area don't like me. You know, it's just the way it is. And I'm not a terrible person. It's just that I'm driven, and I don't drink beer on the weekends, and I don't party, and I don't womanize, and I don't do all this crazy stuff that a lot of people in this area do, and I just don't have anything in common with them. So that's just the way it is. So I reached out to the YouTube audience in the world, and I'm not saying y'all are perfect, because you're not, and neither am I, but we all have something in common, and that is we enjoy and love agriculture. My agriculture has changed over the years. When I started this channel, we were still milking cows. And even though there's not too many videos of milking cows on my part of it, in the beginning, we sold those cows in 2011. So for 3 years, I was doing videos, and there were cows on the farm. And then we did a little bit of beef cows there for a while, you know, just for personal use, nothing for sale. I think we had 6 or 7 of those, and we ate them, you know, from reject, if you remember that, and other things. But anyway, to that comment or that question or that commented question, why don't I do things like the large farming channels? That's their personal decision to do what they're doing. I do watch those other channels from time to time, Welker's. I watched the Welker Farms. I saw when Leg Arms got his arm busted, and I saw it when it was gonna happen. I knew it was something with a jack, because I've done the very same thing, less breaking my arm. My drawbars are not nearly that heavy as what that one is. The heaviest one that I have is on the 8530, and yes, I did put that one in there. I muscled it in. So I'm about ready to meet my dad on the road with a wagon. The millennial farmer, watch him from time to time. Watch the Cole the Corn Star from time to time. Not really into Pit Viper sunglasses and other things like that, but those channels, unlike my own, have become large agricultural commercials. I like smaller channels. The ones I watch most often are probably How Farms Work, Travis, even though Ryan does do some infomercials, you know, and stuff like that. You know, he's got a deal with Kuhn North America on their hay tools, which I find to be rather okay, because I'm into hay, obviously. But all the other ones, Travis, the rest of the story is probably in the Northern Farmer AV. I like Tyson. Tyson does a great job. He's Canadian. So I watch these channels and I love and I enjoy them. The ones that I hate the most are the ones with the most commercials on them. And when I realized that, you know, years ago, and I still get approached, believe me, I still get approached by companies to endorse their products and basically sell their products. Endorse and sell their products. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I don't do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do things the way I have always done them, just for the simple reason it brings joy to people that are loyal to my channel, and I appreciate you. So, I'm going to go pick some corn now. Alright, so we're going to do this again because I had a phone call and it ruined my whole thing. I got about 10 minutes of bullshit to talk about. Alright, so, you say hi? You say hi? Hi! So it's me and William today. Maybe at the very end of this video I'll stick a little bit of the video clip in there. And that'll be okay. But with me and my little man, because he's a big boy. Are you a big boy? Alright, so let's get on to it. The discharge auger bearing, the drive bearing, the one on the far side where the chain is, obviously you're seeing what I'm doing, has broke. It went out. Okay? So it's just bad decisions. It's just bad decisions on my part here, and I take full responsibility for the damage that happened because I own, it's my deal. It's my corn. It's what we do, and I sent Timothy for the bearing. I knew that I had the bearing, and he just decided that he was not going to look very hard to find the bearing. So, me and him got into a bit of an argument on the phone because he says, well, I'm going to come over and we're going to take it off and then I'm going to find the right bearing. I was like, no, you find the right bearing, bring it over here, and we will change the bearings. Well, we don't have it. So, I kept going, filled up 2 more wagon loads. I could smell something burning. There's a lot of pressure on these bearings. I could smell something burning. And on the last load that I was going to do today, or that day, yesterday, I got halfway empty and bam, the chain broke, caused some damage. It went wrapping around there and hit the elevator and made a mess. Not terrible, just bad enough to aggravate me. Teresa was with me, and we just jumped in the car, took off for the farm, and 3 seconds later, I had the right bearing to go in this combine. So I was a little annoyed, to say the least, just a little annoyed. So when I get there, Timothy makes a snide remark, as I'm up there. And it's not easy to do this work. I mean, it is not easy at all. It's hard. I'm not that tall. I'm 6 feet tall. This thing is probably 8 feet up, or 7 feet up, or whatever. Yeah, 7.5 feet up. And I didn't have enough. I forgot my ladder, and it was just a shit show from the start. So he says to me, he says, well, you should have fixed it right the first time. Then we wouldn't have to. Well, I lost it. And that's why I'm doing the voiceover, because the kid pissed me off, and there was so much language going on there that I couldn't, and I was really annoyed. I was annoyed at myself probably more than anything, but I was really annoyed at Timothy because we really could have gotten this thing fixed before there was any damage if he would have just opened his eyes, picked up the bearing that was sitting right there in the bearing bin, right there. I mean right there in front of his face. If he would have just looked. Did that hurt? You okay? William just toppled over. So, anyway, yeah, I'm over it now. We did get it fixed, and I was cursing and swearing right here because people took the chisels out of my tool truck. I have full sets of chisels both in the shop and in this tool truck, and they took them out. I had no chisel. So I'm using this punch to try and get this stupid bearing flange off of here. And I was so frustrated. And, oh my God, I was just losing it. But whatever. We got it apart, and we got it back together again. And it was daylight when we started, and it was nighttime when we finished. But, I set up the tool truck to have lights on it. And those lights work really well. Careful. Go down those stairs. You go carefully. There's William disappearing. Bye. He waved. Careful. Anyway, yeah, so it just was back and forth to the farm 2 or 3 times. We witnessed an accident after I left the farm here and was headed back to home farm. Where my grandmother's house is, they've rented it out. There's 4 houses on this property where my mother was raised. The farmhouse where my mom was raised, and then there is the garage, what they call the garage. There's a full-size house in that garage. It's just up and down. It's a 2-story deal. And then there's the greenhouse, and then there's the house on the backside where I'm picking this corn. Well, the guy that rents the garage, I think he's a painter, and he was making a right-hand turn into where he lives at the place there, and he turned his turn signal on. I'm sure I saw the turn signal. Don't you touch that. And because we were coming down the road, and he swung into the next lane to make that right. And the guy behind him, the kid, who was probably 17, 18 years old, not 16, it's illegal to drive in New Jersey at 16, but 17-year-old kid, just T-boned him. Just bam, right into the side of the van. And the van didn't get stopped until it was up against the stonework. See, that driveway is old. This house is old. And it was built by one Senator Stout, a New Jersey senator. His last name was Stout. And they built the stone walls, the barns, back in the 1930s during the Depression. There was a huge dairy infrastructure that happened in Hunterdon County in the 1930s. Actually in New Jersey, the dairy industry exploded back then because, people needed to eat and drink milk and, food pantries and stuff, whatever. But they did a lot of wealthy people built dairy farms, and this was one of those places. And my grandparents were fortunate enough to be able to purchase it in 1955. Are you going to growl? You sound like Tim Allen over there. So, anyway, these stone walls are meant for small cars like my 1931 Model A Ford car. Drives right in there. Model Ts. They had Packards and stuff because in the red barn that's there, on the wall are parts that still hang there from when Senator Stout built this thing, and it says Cletrac parts and Packard parts. I think I did a video on this one time, and it was really, really cool. It is really, really cool to go in there, and because I'm working there, maybe I'll go in and make another video of it. And the parts are still there. There's Model A parts, there's spark plugs and things in there, which get me excited because I just love that stuff. It's unfortunate that there's not a car in there, but there's bullet molds and old grinding wheels, sharpening, sit on the thing and sharpen your axe wheels, or actually not for axes, but for size, a sai. And yeah, just some really cool stuff in there. But this car T-bones this van. The guy jumped out of the van. He was pissed. You could tell he was pissed off because he just got T-boned going into where he lives, and that's aggravating to say the least. Right? But anyway, I think I'm going to end this video here. You've seen what I've done, and I'll show you that it runs at the very end. And because William is dancing around here like a little fool, and oh my God, did you see how wobbly that shaft is? Oh my Lord, that was not good. So I knew it was wobbly because I bent the damn thing. And then me and Timothy bent it back, and it actually ran straight, but we didn't catch that on video, so it doesn't much matter. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. More normal videos coming. Combining, drying. I'm going to show you my dryer setup and the augers and the way that they are set up and why they're set up that way. And I know I caught criticism. I'm only going to combine 150 acres of corn, guys. I'm not going out and spending $120,000 on a grain cart. I'm not going out and spending $70,000 on a hopper bottom trailer to deal with 150 bushels of corn. It won't do it. It's not worth it. So I hope you all enjoy what I've done here so far today, and I hope you continue to enjoy what I do on my channel. So here we go.